When someone has moved on, passed on, departed, gone away, they haven't actually left. They've simply changed form. Here, they were physical. When they move on, when they pass on, they become an energy body. The way we've learned to relate with one another, because we live in a physical realm, is through their physicality. We give each other presents, we share with one another. If we're going to get messages from the other side, we have to learn to receive messages that come in a form of energy. And that's not so hard to do, because we may not be aware of it, but we're getting energy messages all the time. If you've got a hunch, if you just suddenly get a thought, if there's a dream, it could be a memory that comes into place. If you get a premonition, those are all energy experiences. So when someone who is in an energy body, in an energy realm, the other side, is trying to reach you, your loved one, the one that's passed on, they'll reach you in that way, using energy. So what's necessary for you, if you're wanting to receive those messages, is to become sensitive to the things that are around you, recognizing what's there, and also the things that are within you. That sudden thought that comes to you may not be your thought. It may just be an energy message that's sort of dropped into your mind from the other side, from another place. So it's important always to realize that there's a whole dance of energies around you all the time. And for us to become sensitive to what's coming to us, seeing what's happening with the light, seeing what's happening with the coincidental happenings around us. Those are all things that are linked somehow through energy. We have to see them first. We can look at a lot of things, but that doesn't mean we see what we're looking at. And seeing what we're looking at, noticing the things that are there, also isn't quite enough. You have to go another step, which is to recognize that they caught your attention. Why did that catch your attention? And when we're talking about receiving messages from the other side, it only becomes a message when you see the significance of it. Nobody else is going to see the significance of these things because it's a message for you. If you see it, honor it, reflect upon it. It's a message that came with your name on it. It's funny, you know, the idea I used to have for a long time was that I can't get messages from the other side. I'm not sensitive to energy. These are all thoughts that limited me. I believed those things, so clearly I'm going to experience the world I believe. We all experience the world we believe. So if we want to experience a different world or to experience the world differently, we have to shift what we believe. I used to believe that the only people that can actually get a message from the other side were mediums, people who could see things, clairvoyant or clairaudient. They could hear things that nobody else could, things that your own ears can't pick up, but they could. And they would get these messages, and that's what made them so special. You'd sit down with a medium and they would tell you what the other people were saying, the people on the other side, those living in the energy realm, these spirit beings, the departed loved ones, your departed loved one. And they would give us the message. I just realized, though, you know, that message that you're getting doesn't mean anything to the medium at all. It only takes meaning because of the meaning that you can give it. Mediums generally receive symbols. They're just shown symbols. They're shown things. And they hear words, perhaps, that don't carry really any meaning for them. In almost every case, the medium will say to the person that's sitting with them, "Does that mean anything to you?" That's the clue, you see. Does that mean anything to you? It means that the medium doesn't know what it means. It's a message for you. Does it make sense to you? The people who are sitting with mediums are the ones who give meaning to the messages that mediums get. This is not to deny that there are some mediums that can actually tell you the words that someone is saying, but even with that, often the words that are saying are encoded in some way. They carry a reference to something that has significance only for you. So you can look at it this way now. If even the mediums who seem to have been the only ones who are capable of getting messages from the other side are needing your input to understand what those messages are, can you see how if you were to begin to become sensitive to the energies that are around you, and things would happen coincidentally, just somehow this happens at the same time as that, or something is delivered to you by a friend, something pops up on a YouTube video screen of some kind that actually is very pertinent to what you're thinking of at the moment, or you suddenly have a thought of some kind out of nowhere. If you can start to notice those things, it could well be that that's a message from the other side. You'll know it because it carries a signature of the person that left. You'll feel it inside. You're the one that gives it significance. The first thing is to believe that a connection is possible. The next thing is to become sensitive yourself to the form in which that message can arrive. And once you're on top of both of those things, when you see something that arrived that could be possibly a message, it's the timing of it. Inevitably, it's the timing of it, that it comes at the perfect time, and that gives it significance. You can understand what it means. No medium required. You're the medium. Actually, love is the medium. It's the love that connects you even when your loved one has left. They'll feel the love that you send because love is an energy. And what they're sending you is coming with love. So let's say the medium that you're working with is love. And you have the sensitivity to pick up the message.
Can you give an example
Of what?
of getting a message, the synchronicities?
Okay, in my life. Oh, which one? There's so many. Just give me a pause for a minute now. Because what I've got are long messages, long stories, and I want a shorter one.
I just want to fit something into
Okay.
here because that's the theory. Now tell us some practical.
Yeah, okay. An example is when I was visiting our home just across the water here on this island where we used to live. And I had gone back after Shara had left. And I'm standing in the home that we built, looking out over the water. And we had glasses in our hand. We were just going to drink a toast. Oh, we were drinking, and I decided we'd make a toast. And I said, this is for Cheryl. And I raised my glass, and at that moment, the sun came out. It was at that moment, as I was saying her name, it's like the clouds parted, and the sun came down on us. A day like this, lots of cloud. And I turned to my friends and I said, did I imagine that? Was that real? Did that actually happen? And they said, yeah, that actually happened. And later, when we went inside, we were talking about some geese that had came up and landed right in front of us. 2 geese. They had been flying on one line and they changed course when we came outside and came straight to us and landed 20 feet in front of us. Canada geese are known for loyalty. They don't leave somebody behind. They don't leave each other behind. They stay with each other. Whoa, that's interesting. What made it more interesting was when the woman who now owned the house that we sold said, I was wondering why they came. We hadn't seen them for a long time. And you went out on the porch and those 2 geese came over this way. We haven't seen them for a long time. Those are signs. Those are the kind of things that when you can notice them, they can enrich the reality of a continuing connection that you can have with the one that you loved and who's moved on.